Hey, what's up guys, Lavish from Feature VFX here. So today I'm gonna do a 6-month review on the Nikon D5300. So whether you should buy it or whether this DSLR will live up to your expectations. I've been using this camera for up to 6 months now. So I think this video will give you a hint whether to buy it or not. So let's get on with the video. In India, you can buy this camera for up to 45,000 rupees approximately. It comes with two lenses, that is 18 to 55 millimeter lens and 70 to 300 millimeter lens. Starting with some basic specs here, it is a 24.1 megapixel CMOS sensor. It has 39 autofocal points. Its ISO can be up to 12,800, which can further be expanded up to 25,600. It records a fabulous video with 1080 pixel with 60 frames per second. In this price range, it is very difficult for you to find another camera which records a video with 60 frames per second. I think this here is a major plus point. Now let's get to the fun part here. I'm not going to tell you some detailed specs about whether you should buy this camera or not. I've been using this for 6 months now. So what I'm going to tell you is that the upper, some points which a normal photographer or a videographer finds it useful using this. Starting it, what I'm telling you here is that this D5300 has a rotatable screen. Being as a YouTuber, this really is a major plus point that you should have a rotatable screen. So you can watch yourself where you are standing or whether you are in focus or not. Being alone, it is very difficult for you with a camera which has a single screen, which you cannot be rotatable. So I think you should always opt for a camera which has a rotatable screen, and that's here a major plus point, that the Nikon D5300 has a rotatable screen. Now coming to the next point here, I think that this Nikon D5300 has a microphone jack. Now you see, if you want to be a YouTuber and you are getting a camera or you are buying a camera which does not have a microphone jack, then I think you are really screwed up. Here's the thing. You obviously, if you are a YouTuber, your voice should be audible. Your videos depend on how good your voice quality is. So I think here this is a much good thing about this camera, that you can also have a microphone jack. Otherwise you can what these points which I'm telling you is generally for the beginner YouTubers. Now if you are already using your camera for up to 1 year, 2 year, whatever, then you already know how to use it or whatever. But here the thing is that if you are a beginner, then microphone jack is really important for you in a DSLR. As a beginner, it really helps you. So coming to the next point, I think, let me think. Yes, it has a Wi-Fi facility. Suppose that you are shooting videos or photos and you do not have a laptop. Then what? Then you just have to wait until you can get a laptop, or you have to go home or wherever you are keeping a laptop. But in this point, this has a Wi-Fi facility. You just need your phone. You need to download an app called the Wireless Mobile Utility, WMU, and you can download your photos and videos instantly. So I think this is a major plus point here. Coming to the next point, I think yes, it has a GPS facility. That is also a very good point here. GPS facility. You can always know the location of your photo, where it was clicked. I think this helps, in post processing when you are editing your videos and pics. It helps with the sound and stuff. So, coming to the next point, I think this this DSLR really has a very good grip. Just if you haven't bought this camera and you're really thinking about buying this camera, just go to a shop or wherever you can get a hold of a D5300. Just try to hold it in your hand, and you will yourself feel the grip of this camera, that there will be really a slight chance that you will find this camera slipping off your hand. So I think this camera really, I already told you, I'm not getting into detailed specs here. I'm only telling you the plus points which not other cameras have and which this camera has. And I think, before buying this camera, you should know all these points and you should know that what you are getting into. So, let me tell you a fact. This camera, the D5300, was released in 2014. My major goal for this video is that why the D5300 is a major major camera or a successful camera in the 5000 series of the Nikon. We all have D5200, D5300, D5500, D5600. Now here's the thing, D5300 still outnumbers the D5500 and D5600 which were released in 2015 and 2016. Why is this? Obviously people like this camera. It has major plus points. This really is an affordable camera with really good facilities. So if you want an answer from me whether to buy this camera or not, well, I think the answer is that yes, you should buy this camera. You should trust me if you want that this camera is really very good, and I think this will not prove you wrong. This will really help, and this will really bring up your photos and videos to a next level. So I think this is the end of my review. As I told you, I'm not telling you the detailed specs here, just the upper hand.